Welcome to an immersive journey into the profound power of the mind. A journey inspired by Michael Paradis' transformative book, Mind is Everything. In this captivating exploration, Paradis takes us on a deep dive into the nature of our thoughts and beliefs, revealing that the mind is not a passive observer, but rather the very architect of our reality. The book challenges the conventional notion that our external circumstances are the sole drivers of our experiences, and instead posits that our inner world, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, plays a central role in shaping every aspect of our lives. Paradis explains that every fleeting thought carries with it the potential to build the framework of our future, asserting that our inner dialogue is the engine behind every decision we make and every action we take. Drawing from extensive research in neuroscience and psychology, he illustrates how the brain's inherent plasticity allows us to rewire our thought patterns, meaning that the process of transformation is not only possible, but within our control. As we begin to understand this interplay between thought and reality, the book lays a foundation that encourages us to shift our focus inward, to acknowledge the immense creative power that lies within our minds, and to take deliberate steps toward cultivating a mindset that supports growth, success, and fulfillment. In Mind is Everything, Paradis underscores the critical importance of becoming aware of the mental narratives we construct around our experiences. He argues that our lives are a direct reflection of the stories we tell ourselves, and by changing these narratives, we can fundamentally alter the outcomes we experience. This idea is not presented as mere philosophical musing, but is backed by scientific insights that reveal how our brains are capable of forging new neural pathways when we consciously challenge our ingrained habits and thought patterns. Through clear explanations and engaging examples, Paradis shows that the seemingly intangible nature of thought can have tangible, measurable effects on our lives. He invites readers to consider the possibility that the limitations they perceive in their lives might not be imposed by external circumstances, but are, in fact, self-imposed barriers that can be dismantled through mindful intervention and persistent effort. The narrative of Mind is Everything is both an invitation and a call to action, a challenge to break free from the constraints of negative thinking and to embrace the full potential of our mental faculties. Paradis guides us through practical techniques designed to harness this power, such as visualization, which involves creating vivid mental images of desired outcomes, thereby training the subconscious mind to align with these goals. He also delves into the transformative practice of affirmations, where repeating positive, empowering statements helps to recondition the mind and replace destructive self-talk with messages that foster resilience and confidence. Meditation and mindfulness are presented not merely as relaxation techniques but as fundamental practices that help us observe and eventually master our thoughts, allowing us to create a calm and focused mental state from which true change can emerge. By setting clear intentions, Paradis explains, we actively participate in the creation of our destiny, as our inner convictions start to influence our external reality in profound and unexpected ways. What makes this exploration particularly compelling is the way Paradis intertwines personal anecdotes with scientific evidence, thereby making the case for mental mastery both relatable and credible. He shares stories of individuals who, through the deliberate application of these principles, have managed to overcome significant obstacles and achieve remarkable success. These real-life examples serve as a testament to the fact that the power of the mind is not an abstract concept reserved for a select few, but a universal tool available to everyone. The transformative journeys described in the book provide both inspiration and practical guidance, showing us that change is within reach when we decide to take control of our inner narrative. As Paradis illustrates, the process of transformation begins with a single step, a conscious decision to reframe our perspective and challenge the limiting beliefs that hold us back. Moreover, the book encourages a reflective approach, prompting readers to examine the origins of their beliefs and the habitual thought patterns that have, over time, shaped their identity. Paradis suggests that by understanding where these beliefs come from, we can begin to unravel the complex web of influences that dictate our behavior and, ultimately, our life's trajectory. The emphasis on self-awareness is a recurring theme throughout the book, as it is seen as the first critical step towards reclaiming the power of the mind. This message resonates deeply in a world where external distractions often lead us away from introspection and self-examination. In embracing the truth that our inner world holds the key to our external reality, we are empowered to make choices that align with our deepest desires and aspirations. Throughout Mind is Everything, Michael Paradis' insights invite us to consider that our mental landscape is not static, but dynamic, capable of profound transformation if we are willing to invest in its cultivation. The book is a call to embrace the potential within ourselves, urging us to move beyond fear and self-doubt towards a more confident and intentional existence. It is a reminder that while the journey of self-improvement may be challenging, the rewards are nothing short of life-changing. As you absorb these ideas and reflect on their implications, you begin to see that every thought you harbor has the power to shape your future in meaningful ways. As we conclude this introduction, I invite you to ponder a question that lies at the very heart of Paradis' teachings. If your mind truly holds the power to shape your destiny, what steps are you willing to take today to rewrite your story and unlock a future defined not by your past, but by the limitless potential of your thoughts? In the first chapter of The Power of the Mind, Michael Paradis invites us into a world where the mind is not merely a repository of thoughts, but a dynamic, powerful engine that shapes our reality through focused concentration and the unwavering belief in ourselves. Paradis begins by illustrating that the mind's inherent power lies in its ability to concentrate deeply on a single task or idea, cutting through the noise of everyday distractions to harness a potent force capable of transforming our lives. He explains that concentration is not simply about narrowing our focus. It is an active, deliberate process that requires discipline and commitment, enabling us to filter out extraneous information and channel our mental energy toward our goals. In this way, the mind becomes a finely tuned instrument, capable of producing extraordinary results when aligned with our inner desires and aspirations. Drawing on a blend of scientific insights and practical wisdom, Paradis explains that concentration functions as the cornerstone of all significant achievements. By learning to focus intently, we can bypass the self-doubt and negative chatter that often undermine our potential. He uses compelling examples to illustrate this point, such as the story of an artist who, through rigorous practice and sustained focus, managed to create breathtaking works that defied conventional standards, or an athlete who, in the midst of a high-pressure competition, maintained unwavering concentration that allowed them to perform at the peak of their abilities. These examples are not merely anecdotal. They underscore a fundamental truth that Paradis emphasizes throughout the chapter. The quality of our concentration directly influences the quality of our lives. At the heart of this discussion is the idea that concentration is closely linked to the development of self-confidence. Paradis posits that as we train our minds to focus on our goals and block out negativity, we simultaneously build a reservoir of inner strength and self-belief. When we concentrate on our capabilities and visualize our success, we begin to see evidence of our own potential, which in turn reinforces our confidence. This self-assurance is not born out of arrogance, but from the clear, undeniable experience of having mastered the art of concentration. For instance, consider the narrative of a young professional who, despite facing initial setbacks in their career, gradually learns to harness the power of focused thought. By concentrating on their skills and potential, they not only improve their performance, but also cultivate a sense of self-worth that propels them toward greater achievements. Paradis makes it clear that self-confidence is not an inherent trait that some people possess while others do not. It is a quality that can be nurtured and developed through the intentional exercise of mental focus. Moreover, the chapter delves into practical techniques for cultivating concentration and building self-confidence, all of which are grounded in the book's core principles. Paradis details methods such as mindfulness meditation, which serves as a tool to train the mind to remain present and resist the pull of distractions. Through regular practice, meditation helps us to observe our thoughts without judgment, creating a mental space where focus can flourish. Alongside meditation, the practice of visualization is highlighted as a particularly powerful strategy. By vividly imagining our goals and the steps needed to achieve them, we not only sharpen our concentration, but also create a mental blueprint that reinforces our belief in our capacity to succeed. Paradis provides real-life examples of individuals who, by consistently practicing these techniques, have experienced profound changes in their personal and professional lives. One such example is that of a business leader who used visualization to overcome the fear of failure, enabling them to pursue innovative ideas that eventually led to groundbreaking successes in their industry. The chapter also explores the interplay between mental focus and the brain's neuroplasticity, emphasizing that our ability to concentrate and build self-confidence is rooted in the very structure of our brains. Paradis explains that the brain is not a fixed entity, but a malleable organ that responds to the patterns of thought we feed it. Through repeated practice and deliberate focus, we can create new neural pathways that support positive thinking and robust self-esteem. This understanding demystifies the process of personal transformation, making it accessible to anyone willing to put in the effort. It also underscores a critical message of the chapter. Our mental faculties are not static. They are continuously evolving, and with intentional effort, we can shape them to serve our highest aspirations. What makes the power of the mind particularly engaging is its balanced blend of scientific evidence, practical exercises, and inspiring personal stories. Paradis does not merely present theoretical concepts. He demonstrates how these ideas can be applied in everyday life to overcome obstacles and unlock hidden potential. He challenges us to view our struggles and setbacks not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities to refine our focus and build our confidence. The emphasis on actionable steps, such as practicing mindfulness, visualizing success, and committing to sustained concentration, serves as a practical roadmap for anyone looking to harness the transformative power of their mind. As we absorb these insights, it becomes clear that the journey toward mastering our mind is both challenging and immensely rewarding. The first chapter of Mind is Everything sets the stage for a deeper exploration of how the focused mind can shape our destiny by building self-confidence and unlocking our true potential. In contemplating these ideas, we are invited to reflect on our own capacity for concentration and the strength that lies within our inner conviction. How can we, by sharpening our focus and nurturing our self-belief, transform our challenges into stepping stones toward a future filled with possibility and success? In the second chapter, The Impact of Thoughts on Reality, Michael Paradis delves deeply into the idea that our thoughts are not passive, fleeting ideas, but rather the architects of our behavior, decisions, and ultimately, the outcomes we experience in life. He explains that every action we take originates from a thought, and the nature of that thought, whether positive, negative, empowering, or limiting, determines the course of our lives. The chapter is a compelling exploration of the direct link between mental activity and reality, illustrating that what we believe internally inevitably manifests externally. Paradis draws from psychological research and real-world examples to argue that our cognitive patterns shape our perception of the world, influencing not just what we see, but how we interpret and respond to situations. He emphasizes that when we cultivate constructive, goal-oriented thinking, we align our minds with success, whereas if we allow negative or self-defeating thoughts to dominate, we set ourselves up for failure. This chapter invites us to examine how habitual thoughts dictate our emotions, which in turn guide our actions, thereby creating a self-reinforcing cycle that can either uplift or hinder us. At the heart of this discussion is the concept of cognitive patterns, deeply ingrained ways of thinking that act as filters through which we experience the world. Paradis explains that these patterns develop over time, often as a result of past experiences, societal conditioning, and repeated internal dialogues. Once established, these mental frameworks influence everything we do, from the choices we make in our personal and professional lives to how we interact with others and respond to challenges. He uses the example of two individuals facing the same difficult situation. One sees it as an opportunity for growth, while the other perceives it as an insurmountable obstacle. The difference, Paradis asserts, is not in their external circumstances but in their cognitive patterns. The person with an optimistic and solution-oriented mindset is more likely to find a way forward, whereas the one with a pattern of negative thinking will feel stuck, reinforcing a cycle of inaction and disappointment. By recognizing these cognitive patterns and consciously reshaping them, we can shift our reality in profound ways. Paradis encourages readers to pay close attention to their habitual thoughts, questioning whether they serve their highest potential or act as hidden barriers that hold them back. One of the most powerful techniques discussed in this chapter is visualization, a method that Paradis describes as a mental rehearsal for success. He explains that visualization is not merely wishful thinking, but a scientifically supported practice that engages the brain's neural pathways, making success feel familiar and achievable. By vividly imagining a desired outcome, whether it be excelling in a career, achieving personal goals, or improving relationships, we prime our minds to recognize and seize the opportunities that will bring that vision to life. Paradis cites studies in neuroscience that show how athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers use visualization to enhance performance. He recounts the story of a professional basketball player who, despite being sidelined due to injury, practiced free throws in his mind every day. When he returned to the game, his shooting accuracy had remarkably improved, despite having not physically touched a basketball for months. The brain, Paradis explains, does not distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. It builds neural connections regardless. This phenomenon underscores the immense potential of visualization as a tool for transformation. Beyond professional success, visualization plays a crucial role in reshaping self-perception and self-belief. Paradis provides the example of individuals who have overcome self-doubt and low confidence by repeatedly visualizing themselves as capable and successful. By mentally rehearsing situations in which they exude confidence and handle challenges effectively, they gradually rewire their brains to embody that version of themselves in real life. This process, he explains, is rooted in the principle of neuroplasticity, which suggests that our brains are malleable and can be shaped through repeated thought patterns. When we visualize ourselves succeeding, we activate the same brain regions that would be engaged if we were actually experiencing success, making it easier to translate thought into reality. This insight is particularly empowering because it means that anyone, regardless of past failures or self-perceived limitations, has the ability to reshape their self-image and unlock new possibilities. Paradis also explores how the thoughts we hold about others influence our relationships and interactions. He explains that when we expect positive outcomes in our engagements with people, we are more likely to behave in ways that elicit positive responses. Conversely, if we anticipate conflict or rejection, our subconscious body language and tone might inadvertently create the very scenario we fear. He shares the example of a manager who believed that one of their employees was underperforming and as a result, began treating them with subtle distrust and frustration. This in turn caused the employee to feel undervalued, leading to even poorer performance. However, when the manager consciously changed their perception and began treating the employee with encouragement and belief in their abilities, the employee's performance improved significantly. This demonstrates that the thoughts we hold, not just about ourselves, but about others, have a profound effect on our reality. The chapter concludes with a compelling argument for taking responsibility for our thoughts. Paradis reminds us that while we cannot always control external circumstances, we can always control how we think about them. This realization is liberating because it shifts the power dynamic. Rather than feeling like victims of fate, we become active creators of our experiences. By consciously choosing thoughts that align with our goals and highest aspirations, we begin to shift our behavior in ways that bring those aspirations to life. Paradis encourages readers to practice awareness of their thoughts, to challenge limiting beliefs, and to use visualization as a daily tool to align their minds with their desired outcomes. He makes it clear that transforming our thoughts is not an overnight process, but a practice that, when consistently applied, has the power to reshape every aspect of our lives. As we reflect on the powerful insights from this chapter, one question remains: if our thoughts truly had the power to shape our reality, what beliefs are we holding on to that might be limiting our full potential? In the next chapter, we explore the profound role of emotions in shaping our thoughts, and how mastering emotional intelligence can further unlock the mind's limitless capabilities. Stay tuned as we continue this journey into the power of the mind. In the third chapter, Techniques for Mental Conditioning, Michael Paradis explores practical methods that enable us to take control of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, ultimately shaping our reality in the direction we desire. The chapter emphasizes that while our minds naturally absorb information and develop patterns over time, we have the power to reprogram and condition them to work in our favor. Paradis explains that mental conditioning is not something reserved for elite performers or highly disciplined individuals. Rather, it is a skill that anyone can cultivate through consistent practice and intention. By employing techniques such as mindfulness and meditation, positive affirmations, and the development of creativity and imagination, we can train our minds to focus, stay resilient in the face of challenges, and unlock our highest potential. These techniques are not abstract theories but actionable strategies that, when integrated into daily life, can lead to profound personal transformation. One of the foundational techniques Paradis discusses is mindfulness and meditation, which serve as powerful tools for increasing self-awareness and gaining control over our thoughts. He explains that mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, allows us to break free from the cycle of autopilot thinking, where past regrets and future anxieties dominate our mental space. Instead, mindfulness trains us to observe our thoughts objectively, reducing emotional reactivity and improving clarity. Meditation, a closely related practice, involves deliberately focusing the mind, whether on the breath, a mantra, or a specific sensation, to cultivate a state of inner stillness. Paradis references scientific studies that show how regular meditation practice rewires the brain, strengthening areas associated with concentration, emotional regulation, and self-discipline. He provides an example of a busy entrepreneur who, overwhelmed by stress and decision fatigue, adopted a daily meditation routine. Over time, this simple practice not only reduced their stress levels, but also enhanced their ability to make clear, strategic decisions. Meditation, Paradis asserts, is like a mental gym. It trains the brain to maintain composure under pressure, leading to greater resilience and overall mental strength. Another essential technique for mental conditioning that Paradis explores is the use of positive affirmations. He explains that affirmations are not just empty words but powerful statements that, when repeated consistently, can shift deep-seated beliefs and reshape our subconscious programming. The mind, Paradis argues, absorbs repeated messages, much like a sponge, which means that if we constantly tell ourselves negative things, such as, "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never succeed," those thoughts will become ingrained as reality. However, the reverse is also true. When we deliberately repeat empowering statements like, "I am capable," "I am confident," we gradually overwrite limiting beliefs with ones that support our growth. Paradis shares an example of an athlete who struggled with self-doubt before competitions. By implementing a daily practice of positive affirmations, combined with visualization techniques, the athlete not only improved their confidence, but also began performing at a higher level. The key, Paradis emphasizes, is consistency. Affirmations must be repeated regularly, ideally spoken out loud with conviction, until they become an automatic part of one's internal dialogue. Beyond mindfulness, meditation, and affirmations, the chapter also highlights the importance of nurturing creativity and imagination as tools for mental conditioning. Paradis explains that creativity is not limited to artists or musicians. Rather, it is a fundamental mental skill that allows us to solve problems, innovate, and envision new possibilities. He argues that imagination is one of the most underutilized faculties of the human mind, yet it is instrumental in shaping our future. Through creative exercises such as journaling, brainstorming, and engaging in artistic activities, we strengthen our ability to think outside the box and break free from rigid thought patterns. He provides an example of a scientist who, by allowing themselves to think creatively rather than strictly adhering to conventional methods, made groundbreaking discoveries. Creativity, Paradis asserts, is not just about artistic expression. It is about training the mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to find solutions where others see dead ends. He encourages readers to actively engage in activities that stimulate their imagination, whether through reading fiction, playing an instrument, or simply daydreaming about new possibilities. As the chapter unfolds, Paradis ties all these techniques together, showing how they work in harmony to strengthen and condition the mind. He explains that mental conditioning is an ongoing process, much like physical fitness. It requires regular effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. By practicing mindfulness and meditation, we develop clarity and focus. By using affirmations, we rewire our subconscious for success. And by nurturing creativity, we expand our ability to adapt and innovate. Each of these techniques contributes to building a mind that is not only disciplined and resilient, but also open to growth and new possibilities. He reminds readers that mental conditioning is not about suppressing negative thoughts or forcing positivity, but about developing a conscious awareness of how our minds operate and making intentional choices to direct them in a way that serves us. As we reflect on these powerful techniques, one question lingers: if we truly have the ability to condition our minds for success, then what are the mental habits we need to change today in order to create the future we desire? In the next chapter, we will explore how emotions influence our thoughts and decision-making, and how mastering emotional intelligence can further enhance the mind's potential. Stay tuned as we continue this journey into unlocking the full power of our minds. In the fourth chapter, Facing Challenges and Mental Toughness, Michael Paradis delivers a powerful message. Challenges and obstacles are inevitable parts of life, but it is the strength of our minds that determines whether we succumb to them or rise above them. Paradis explains that while we often have little control over the external difficulties we face, we have complete control over how we perceive and respond to them. The chapter offers a psychological analysis of how the mind processes challenges, demonstrating that it is not the problem itself, but our interpretation of it that shapes our experience. He explains that when we view challenges as threats, our brains activate the fight or flight response, flooding the body with stress hormones, which can impair our judgment and trigger emotional reactions. On the other hand, when we perceive challenges as opportunities for growth, we remain calmer, more creative, and better equipped to solve the problem effectively. Paradis emphasizes that mental toughness is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to be unaffected by difficulties. Rather, it is about training the mind to remain clear, focused, and resilient in the face of adversity. Throughout the chapter, Paradis shares inspiring success stories of individuals who overcame significant hardships through the power of mental toughness. One compelling example he presents is that of a business owner who faced near financial ruin when their company suffered a major setback. Rather than succumbing to panic, the individual made the conscious decision to remain calm and analytical, breaking the problem down into smaller, manageable pieces. By maintaining a clear and composed mindset, they were able to identify innovative solutions that eventually led to their business thriving once again. Paradis uses this story to highlight a key principle. While emotions like fear and frustration are natural responses to challenges, they can cloud our judgment if left unchecked. Mental toughness, he explains, is the ability to regulate these emotions and approach difficulties with a strategic, problem-solving mindset. The chapter also provides practical strategies for cultivating mental resilience, starting with the importance of staying calm during crises. Paradis describes how, when faced with sudden adversity, the instinctive human reaction is often impulsive and emotional, which can lead to rash decisions. To counteract this, he suggests practicing controlled breathing techniques and mindful awareness in moments of stress. By slowing down the breath and grounding oneself in the present moment, it becomes easier to regulate emotions and think more clearly. He offers the example of an emergency room doctor who, despite working in a high-stakes, chaotic environment, uses controlled breathing to remain calm and focused when making life-or-death decisions. This simple yet powerful practice enables the doctor to access their critical thinking skills, even under extreme pressure, ultimately leading to better outcomes. Another essential mental toughness strategy discussed in the chapter is effective problem analysis. Paradis explains that people often become overwhelmed by challenges because they view them as massive, insurmountable obstacles. However, by breaking down problems into smaller, more manageable components, they become easier to tackle. He introduces the concept of cognitive reframing, a technique in which individuals deliberately shift their perspective on a problem. For instance, instead of viewing a financial setback as a personal failure, one can reframe it as an opportunity to learn more effective financial management skills. Paradis illustrates this with the story of a young entrepreneur whose startup failed. Rather than being defeated by the experience, they used it as a learning opportunity, analyzing their mistakes and applying the lessons to their next venture, which ultimately became a success. This mindset shift, from seeing problems as permanent defeats to viewing them as temporary learning experiences, is a hallmark of mental toughness. Furthermore, Paradis explores how visualization can be used to build resilience when facing difficulties. By mentally rehearsing successful responses to hypothetical challenges, individuals can condition their minds to remain steady under real-life pressure. He shares the story of a professional athlete who uses visualization techniques before competitions, picturing themselves staying calm and composed even in the face of unexpected setbacks. This mental preparation helps the athlete maintain focus during actual matches, enhancing their performance. Paradis explains that visualizing success during adversity strengthens the mind's ability to remain solution-oriented, even when circumstances become difficult. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in building mental toughness. Paradis notes that individuals who are too harsh on themselves during challenging times often experience burnout and emotional exhaustion. In contrast, those who practice self-compassion, offering themselves the same kindness they would extend to a friend, are more likely to recover quickly from setbacks. He encourages readers to treat themselves with patience and forgiveness when they encounter difficulties, reminding them that resilience is not about being invincible, but about bouncing back stronger each time. As the chapter concludes, Paradis leaves readers with a thought-provoking reflection. Mental toughness is not about avoiding challenges, but about becoming the kind of person who can face them with courage, creativity, and composure. The real test of strength, he suggests, is not in how much we can avoid hardship, but in how skillfully we can navigate it. With this powerful lesson in mind, he encourages us to ask ourselves, if we truly have the ability to strengthen our minds in the face of adversity, how much more could we accomplish if we fully embrace the challenges that come our way? In the next chapter, we will explore how mastering emotional balance and self-control can further enhance the mind's power, helping us lead more intentional and fulfilling lives. Stay tuned as we continue this transformative journey into unlocking the limitless potential of the human mind. In the 5th chapter, The Benefits of Mental Transformation in Daily Life, Michael Paradis explores how cultivating a strong and disciplined mind leads to profound improvements in all areas of life, enhancing health, boosting overall well-being, strengthening relationships. Paradis explains that while mental transformation often begins with subtle internal changes, its effects ripple outward, reshaping how we experience the world. He emphasizes that a well-conditioned mind is not only more resilient to stress and adversity, but also more capable of creating lasting happiness, achieving meaningful goals, and maintaining emotional stability. Throughout the chapter, he illustrates how consciously transforming our thoughts, beliefs, and mental habits leads to tangible, life-enhancing benefits that impact both the personal and professional spheres. One of the most significant benefits Paradis highlights is the improvement in both mental and physical health that comes with mental transformation. He explains that the mind and body are intrinsically connected. What affects one inevitably impacts the other. When the mind is overwhelmed by stress, negativity, and worry, it triggers physiological responses that can weaken the immune system, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of chronic illnesses. However, by cultivating positive thinking, emotional balance, and stress management techniques, we create a healthier mental environment that directly contributes to better physical health. Paradis references scientific studies that show how practices like meditation and mindfulness lower cortisol levels, reduce inflammation, and promote overall well-being. He shares the story of a woman who, after struggling with chronic anxiety, adopted a daily practice of meditation and positive affirmations. Over time, not only did her anxiety levels decrease, but she also experienced improved sleep quality, greater energy levels, and fewer physical symptoms of stress. This example illustrates how transforming the mind can have measurable effects on the body, highlighting the powerful link between mental and physical well-being. Beyond individual health, Paradis explores how mental transformation significantly enhances relationships. He explains that our thoughts and emotional patterns influence the way we communicate, interpret, and respond to others. When we cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence, we become more empathetic, patient, and understanding. This, in turn, strengthens our personal and professional connections. Paradis gives the example of a man who previously struggled with reactive anger, which often damaged his relationships. Through mindfulness and cognitive reframing techniques, he learned to pause and reflect before reacting, ultimately improving his interactions with family, friends, and colleagues. As a result, his relationships became healthier and more harmonious. Paradis emphasizes that mental transformation allows us to approach conflicts with greater composure, express ourselves more authentically, and build deeper emotional bonds with those around us. Furthermore, By developing compassion and self-confidence through mental conditioning, we naturally become more attractive to others, fostering trust and creating more meaningful connections. Another major benefit of mental transformation, as discussed in this chapter, is its direct impact on achieving success and accomplishing goals. Paradis explains that a strong and focused mind is the driving force behind personal and professional achievements. When we transform our mental habits, replacing self-doubt with self-belief and procrastination with determination, we become more productive, motivated, and goal-oriented. He shares the story of an aspiring author who, despite multiple rejections, remained committed to their vision. By visualizing success and using positive affirmations to maintain confidence, through relentless mental resilience, they eventually published a best-selling book. This example demonstrates that mental transformation not only strengthens persistence but also attracts opportunities, as a confident and positive mindset naturally draws people and possibilities into our lives. Paradis explains that individuals with a growth-oriented and optimistic mental outlook are more likely to take calculated risks, pursue their goals fearlessly, and overcome failures with renewed determination, all of which are essential ingredients for long-term success. The chapter also explores the concept of maintaining balance in life, which Paradis considers a key aspect of mental transformation. He explains that while pursuing success and self-improvement is valuable, true fulfillment comes from creating harmony across all areas of life. Paradis warns against falling into the trap of overworking or obsessing over one aspect of life at the expense of others. He encourages readers to cultivate a balanced mindset, one that prioritizes not only ambition and achievement, but also rest, self-care, and meaningful relationships. He gives the example of a corporate executive who, despite reaching the pinnacle of their career, felt unfulfilled and disconnected from their loved ones. It was only after intentionally creating space for personal relationships, leisure, and self-reflection that they experienced a deeper sense of happiness and satisfaction. Paradis uses this story to remind readers that true success is not measured by external accomplishments alone but by the quality of life we experience along the way. Mental transformation, he asserts, helps us establish this balance by fostering self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a clear sense of priorities. As the chapter concludes, Paradis leaves readers with a powerful reflection. Mental transformation is not merely about achieving temporary success or managing stress. It is about creating a sustainable, fulfilling, and meaningful life. By training our minds to remain resilient, focused, and emotionally balanced, we unlock the ability to experience more joy, cultivate richer relationships, and fulfill our highest potential. However, as Paradis hints, the journey toward mental mastery does not end here. In the next chapter, he explores the fascinating concept of rewiring limiting beliefs and breaking free from self-imposed mental barriers. So, if you've ever wondered how to overcome the hidden mental blocks that hold you back, stay tuned as we continue this empowering journey into unlocking the full potential of the human mind. In the 6th chapter, the key teachings and inspirations of the book, Michael Paradis distills the core lessons and motivating ideas that have been woven throughout the previous chapters. He emphasizes that the foundation of all mental transformation begins with the understanding that our thoughts shape our reality. Paradis reiterates that every experience, whether positive or negative, starts with the way we think about it. Our minds, he explains, are incredibly powerful tools that, when harnessed properly, can create extraordinary changes in our lives. The core teaching of this chapter is that the mind is not just a passive observer of our circumstances, but an active creator of them. Paradis encourages readers to take responsibility for their thoughts, recognizing that we have the ability to shape our attitudes and perspectives. By shifting our focus to thoughts of possibility and growth, we can open ourselves up to new opportunities and remove the mental barriers that often hold us back from achieving our dreams. One of the most inspiring ideas Paradis presents in this chapter is the concept of transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. Throughout the book, he has emphasized that challenges are an inevitable part of life, but it is how we perceive them that defines our success. He urges readers to reframe obstacles not as threats, but as valuable learning experiences that push us toward personal development. Paradis shares the example of a person who, after facing a personal loss, chose to channel their grief into a renewed sense of purpose. By focusing on the lessons they could learn from the experience, they were able to transform their sorrow into a driving force for positive change. This is the kind of mental shift Paradis advocates for, viewing every setback as a stepping stone rather than an insurmountable wall. He reminds readers that success is not defined by the absence of failure, but by the ability to persevere through challenges with resilience and an open mind. The chapter also highlights practical steps that individuals can take to apply the teachings of the book in their daily lives. Paradis introduces a series of strategies for strengthening mental focus and discipline. These steps include the regular practice of mindfulness and meditation, creating a structured routine that prioritizes both personal and professional goals, and actively seeking out experiences that stretch one's comfort zone. Paradis emphasizes that mental transformation requires consistent, deliberate action. It is not enough to simply read the words on the page. The key to lasting change lies in the ability to incorporate these practices into everyday life. For example, he suggests setting aside time each morning for a few minutes of meditation, followed by positive affirmations to set the tone for the day. By beginning each day with intention, individuals are better equipped to handle the challenges and distractions that may arise. Paradis also encourages readers to keep a journal to track their progress, reflect on their thoughts, and identify any limiting beliefs that may still be holding them back. By regularly reviewing these reflections, individuals can become more aware of their mental patterns and begin to shift them toward a more positive and growth-oriented mindset. Another key point Paradis stresses is the importance of learning from experiences. He explains that every experience, whether it's a success or a failure, holds valuable lessons that can contribute to personal growth. Paradis urges readers to adopt the mindset of a lifelong learner, viewing life not as a series of fixed outcomes, but as an ongoing process of discovery. He provides the example of an entrepreneur who faced repeated failures but used each setback as an opportunity to learn, refine their strategy, and come back stronger by embracing the lessons in each experience. Entrepreneur not only achieved eventual success, but also developed a mindset that was more adaptable and resilient. Paradis teaches that it's not the mistakes themselves that define us, but how we choose to respond to them. When we approach life with a mindset of curiosity and openness, we transform every challenge into an opportunity to grow and improve. In this chapter, Paradis ties all of these key teachings together, reinforcing the idea that the mind is the ultimate driver of change. By taking control of our thoughts, embracing challenges as growth opportunities, and implementing practical strategies for mental conditioning, we can begin to reshape our lives in profound ways. He concludes by reminding readers that the journey of mental transformation is ongoing. The mind, like any other muscle, requires continuous practice and development. Success is not a destination but a process, and it is up to each individual to maintain the focus, discipline, and resilience needed to navigate life's challenges and create the future they desire. As Paradis leaves us with this empowering reflection, a question arises: if our thoughts are the foundation of our reality, how can we begin to use them more intentionally to unlock the life we've always dreamed of? In the next chapter, we will explore the transformative power of self-belief and how cultivating unwavering confidence can propel us toward achieving our goals. Stay tuned as we continue this journey toward mastering the mind and unlocking its full potential. In the conclusion of Mind is Everything, Michael Paradis drives home the ultimate message of the book. The power of the mind is the key to unlocking our full potential, and by mastering our thoughts, we can transform every aspect of our lives. Throughout the chapters, Paradis has laid out how our minds shape our reality, how our thoughts dictate our actions, and how we can cultivate mental resilience to face life's challenges. The core takeaway from the book is clear. Our minds are not just tools that help us survive. They are the very instruments that shape our success, happiness, and fulfillment. Paradis emphasizes that no matter the external circumstances we face, we have the ability to control our responses and create a reality that aligns with our dreams and aspirations. Mental transformation, he asserts, is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process of conscious effort and growth. By committing to this process, we can learn to harness the power of our thoughts to navigate obstacles, improve our health and relationships, and achieve the goals that matter most to us. One of the most important themes in the conclusion is the notion of continuous self-improvement. Paradis reminds readers that mental mastery does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process that requires consistent practice and commitment. Just as we work to strengthen our physical bodies through exercise, we must also put in the effort to strengthen our minds. Paradis encourages readers to cultivate daily habits that support mental conditioning. Whether that's through mindfulness, meditation, positive affirmations, or visualizing success. Each small step, he explains, compounds over time, and the cumulative effect of these practices will lead to lasting transformation. By consistently feeding our minds with positive, empowering thoughts, we start to reprogram our mental habits, replacing self-doubt with self-belief and fear with confidence. Paradis stresses that the mind is incredibly malleable, and with the right tools and dedication, anyone can reshape their thinking patterns to create a more fulfilling and successful life. Paradis also emphasizes the importance of resilience in the face of setbacks and challenges. Life is inherently filled with obstacles, but it is how we respond to them that determines our ultimate success. Paradis urges readers to see failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as a valuable learning opportunity. He underscores the importance of developing mental toughness, the ability to remain calm, focused, and solution-oriented during times of adversity. When faced with challenges, Paradis advocates for taking a step back, analyzing the situation, and maintaining a mindset that views obstacles as opportunities to grow. This mental shift, he argues, is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming life's difficulties and moving forward with strength and resilience. Moreover, Paradis highlights that success is not defined by the absence of failure, but by our ability to persist, adapt, and learn from our experiences. Throughout the book, Paradis has also explored the vital role that emotional intelligence plays in mental transformation. The ability to understand and regulate our emotions is crucial for maintaining inner peace and navigating relationships effectively. Paradis encourages readers to develop a practice of self-awareness, regularly checking in with their emotions and acknowledging how they might be influencing their thoughts and actions. By understanding our emotional triggers, we can respond more thoughtfully and intentionally in any given situation, whether it's at work, in our personal lives, or when facing a difficult decision. The ability to manage emotions not only enhances personal well-being, but also strengthens relationships, creating a ripple effect of positivity and connection in every aspect of life. To move forward in life and effectively apply the lessons from Mind is Everything, Paradis offers a few practical suggestions that can help readers incorporate these teachings into their daily routines. First, he recommends starting each day with a moment of reflection or meditation, setting an intention for how you want to approach the day. This practice can help center your thoughts, reduce stress, and set a positive tone for the hours ahead. Second, Paradis suggests keeping a gratitude journal. By regularly writing down the things you are thankful for, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. This simple habit can increase feelings of contentment, reduce negative thinking, and help you cultivate a mindset of abundance. Third, Paradis encourages readers to create a personal growth plan, outlining clear, actionable goals and breaking them down into manageable steps. By setting intentions and tracking progress, you maintain a sense of direction and motivation, which are essential for sustained growth. Lastly, Paradis stresses the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support and inspire you. A positive social circle can elevate your mindset, encourage your personal development, and help you stay focused on your journey. Ultimately, the book concludes with a powerful reminder. The power to change and transform lies within each of us. The mind is an incredible force, and by mastering it, we unlock the ability to shape our reality in profound ways. Paradis leaves readers with a call to action, to embrace the process of mental transformation, to take ownership of their thoughts, and to live each day with intention, purpose, and resilience. The journey toward mental mastery may be challenging, but it is also deeply rewarding. As Paradis concludes, the mind is everything. Train it, transform it, and watch your life unfold in ways you never thought possible. This message serves as both a conclusion and an invitation. The power to change is in your hands, and now it's time to take the first step toward creating the life you've always dreamed of.